Hi there. Thanks for joining me. It's Anita Kaiser from Anita Kaiser Wellness. I thought today I'd come on and just share some information with you that I found so valuable when I learned this. So I'm going to assume probably that you're a little bit familiar with the fight or flight response, right? This concept that kept us safe in primal times, right? I'm wandering along doing my hunting or gathering, and all of a sudden there's a bear or a tiger or something hunting me, and I run. And so that response, that adrenaline flush, is what's called the fight response, right? But for a lot of us in, of course, today's society, there's no tigers hunting us, or at least not generally. There are two additional responses between fight or flight. There is the freeze response, and maybe you might recognize yourself in that. Maybe when you're having an argument or some kind of interaction, someone said to you, "Hey, what's going on? Do you have anything to say?" Where you're just standing there with your eyes open or sitting there with that strong frozen response, right? Um, that like if I just don't move, don't do anything, then maybe they won't see me, right? That's the freeze response. And then there is additionally the fold response, right? I just give up. I just can't do this anymore. I give up. I'm not in fight or flight. I'm not frozen. I'm folding. I'm just done. So those are the four types of response that our bodies come up with in response to trauma. And depending on what's happened to us when we were younger, often these responses, whichever one it is that is your body's chosen response, become more normal and incorporated into every day. So for me personally, my response is fight, right? And I know when I'm there because often, over the 13 years that I've been a parenting often brings me there. And that's because my body wasn't trained to just respond normally. So what happens with me is I'm ticking along. Everything's at, a nice normal number. And then all of a sudden I've shot up. I am like on fire. There's no in between, right? Because my body has had a hard time figuring out how to regulate. So, of course, when I'm at that place where everything feels out of control, I know I'm out of control. I don't like it. And it's really hard to begin to try and regulate yourself then, right? Because you're in that fight, flight, freeze, or fold. You're in that place. It's alarming, even though in that situation, it's not so alarming. My body has gone there, right? So, of course, I know I'm there when I'm at that. But what I've noticed is that I'm often in that place without even noticing. And I'm in that place because it's how I kept myself safe as I was growing up. So what I wanted to share with you today is, how do you know if you're in that response? How do you know, outside of course, yelling, screaming, losing control, how do you know when you're in that trauma response? And so it's a very simple technique that I'm going to show you to tell you whether you're in fight, flight, freeze, or fold. When you're in that charged, triggered place. So you're going to take your two fingers, not your thumb, but your two fingers, and you're going to put them on your eyebrows. And then you're going to slide your fingers up past the divot to the place where you feel the bumps. There's two sort of bumps. And if you've ever seen a skull, it's sort of the place where the skull is bumping out, right? So I want you to take your hands and place them there. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths here. So the fingers are just gently pressing on those two bumps. Breathing deeply and just allow yourself to notice. So if you are in a calm, centered, focused place, you're going to feel two faint pulses on either side underneath your fingers. So those two pulses that are pulsing in unison are telling you that you're in a good place, you're calm, your body is feeling regulated, everything is as it should be. If you are not feeling those two pulses on either side, then you're in some form of fight or flight. Now, maybe you feel a little bit of pulse on one side, or you feel pulses that aren't in sync, or you don't feel any pulses. And so any one of those versions indicates that your body is not in homeostasis. It is not calm and feeling safe. So I just wanted to share that with you. I hope it's helpful. And I'd love to know what you think of that. I'd love to know if you find that helpful, or if you already knew that, or what it makes you feel, and if you were able to feel the pulses. I'd love to know. So please do comment, share with me, let me know what you think and how informative you thought that was. And that's all for today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Take care.